So I thought I'd challenge you to a Holmgang.
Good morning, everyone. It is Saturday, which means it's time for another Holmgang, where what's yours is ours. Basically, if you're in the chat, feel free to type in any type of topic you want us to talk about. This is our chill stream, so there's no real structure to it. Just ours. Basically, if you're in the chat, feel free. Oh my God, someone is listening to our chat on stream, so be sure to mute your stuff, panelists. Anyway, we've got some special guests today. We got Mexican Iron Man coming to us from Texas. Thank you for joining us today, sir. And we've also got Mick Foley coming at us from his man cave. How you doing, Mick Foley, mankind?
Have a nice day.
Yeah, okay. That's not going to get old quick. And then, of course, we've got Matt Vader, the Barbarian Space Viking.
Here I am.
And so if you guys want to drop us any super chats, we will prioritize those as we go about talking about our stuff. Otherwise, it's just going to be kind of like a free-for-all, but we do have some discussion topics to talk about. So I'm going to throw it over to my compatriot, Matt Vader 74, to tell us what our first topic is going to be.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Got people in the chat already and everything. That's like going up and down from like 4 to like 8 people. It's crazy. Is this distracting? Is the TV distracting in the background? I didn't even realize that was going to do that. Got Alex back there hanging out with us, and it's got one of our old shows on. But every once in a while, you're going to see Jude pop in there, and the show will just get better. So,
Jude makes every show better.
Jude makes every show better. That's our element of estrogen that'll be on the show today. Yes.
Joker asked Mexican Iron Man, what's on the menu today?
That would be rabbit chicken tacos with dune sandworm French fries. Yeah.
Oh, that sounds great. Except for the dune part. Yeah. So here we are, man. It's Saturday morning. Kadish comes in and goes, "Hey, man, you're hosting today." And I'm like, "Oh God, dude, I am not prepared. I got nothing to do. I spent the day. I actually called out from work yesterday because I'd been a little ill. If you guys saw me on the podcast yesterday, you noticed that I had to leave a little early and then come back for reasons. It wasn't fun, but
yeah, you and Biden.
Me and Biden having some accident issues.
I heard he blew up the Pope's toilet.
I'm at that age, man. I gotta watch myself.
Biden had a few too many sandworm tacos. Isn't that right, Mike?
That's right. That's right.
That'll do it.
Do they make you hallucinate like the spice menage?
Well, if they come with your special Mexican spice seasoning, they do. And I just want to tell Vader that he needs to not worry because Matt brought me in to be, for the day, the chief basement dweller, diversity and inclusion officer for the day. Yep.
All right.
Well, you cover the basement, I'll cover the boiler room.
You're such a weirdo, Danny. I swear. I love it.
Yeah, a lot of the people born before or after the year 2000 probably don't know who you're dressed as.
If they're into wrestling, they know, or they better know, or I don't want to talk to them.
Right.
Yeah. So what do we want to talk about today? We got some trailers that released this week, right, Matthew?
Yep.
Yeah, we got see, what was the first one we wanted to talk about? Cowboy Bebop got released. So
yeah, the first official trailer for Cowboy Bebop. Yeah. And unfortunately, we can't show any of these trailers on the stream. Otherwise, we'll get copy claimed. So you're just going to have to go watch them for yourself if you want to know what we're talking about.
Here's the only problem I have with Cowboy Bebop is that I never watched the original anime. So I really, except for just a couple episodes. So my reference to from the cartoon is not there. I'm going to be going into this kind of as a new viewer. So
Netflix just put the anime up a few days ago.
Mm-hmm. Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. You can watch the full anime.
I already watched it the other day. Like, and it's short. They're short. 20,
how many episodes?
20 minutes each. I don't remember. It's like
did you see all of it? So about a month ago. I'm on Midnight Central, as you guys might know, but so Cowboy Bebop, I ordered all the whole CD with all the various. I watched them all before I came to Texas. So I'd never seen them at all because I'd never been into anime at all. And so I got them. So it's real fresh in my head. And
It's 26
really enjoyed it.
episodes. 26 episodes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They go fast.
They do. They're 20. You know, if you skip the intro and the credits, they're about roughly 20 minutes each. You know, I watched the whole thing in a day. You know, so
That's not bad. It's not bad.
You got to get through the first 4 to 7, and then it gets real enjoyable after that.
Well, I was
right.
surprised that the live action version seems pretty. I'm not a big fan of the casting choices, but it seems like they're trying to bring the anime to life. So I liked what I saw. Actually.
yeah, me too. I was surprised. I didn't like the teaser, but the trailer was cool. You know,
It's very hyper stylized.
yeah, it's basically the anime come to life. If you think of like the set designs and the style, the ship looks gorgeous. Bebop looks gorgeous. You know, yeah, same
love
Joker. Cautiously optimistic. Yes.
I cannot stand the actress and her big fat mouth.
Yeah.
I literally cannot stand her.
I feel like, see, you're not supposed to like Faye anyway. She's always ripping the dudes off at the end and being a little, snotty bitch. So maybe she's like doing it like wrestling and she's just working everybody, in real life. She's
she
like,
did a
you're not
good
supposed
job.
to like me anyway, so fuck you, type of thing.
Yeah, she did a good job on that Twitter video for me, for sure. That's for sure.
She really kind of turned me off to wanting to watch the show too. I'm not gonna lie. These actors and actresses, they just need to shut up and entertain us, man. I don't care about their stupid politics and their pronouns and crap. It's like, just read the script, do what you're paid to do. So, aren't they missing a character? Isn't there 4
Ed, the chick hacker, but that's it. That's the only one they haven't shown yet.
Wasn't she kind of important to the story?
Oh yeah, she's one of the biggest characters. I feel like they're kind of saving her as either a surprise or if they get picked up for another season because she is so popular,
Well, I think the trailer also was meant to give us. I think it was interesting because they didn't so much as focus. I think they're trying to sell us on the look and the feel of the show, so we'll watch it. Versus get into any kind of weird lines about politics or diversity.
Right.
Crap.
The politics didn't come from the show or the trailer. The politics and crap came from the actor and her tweeting habits. So yeah, I mean, it's another Brie Larson situation as far as I'm concerned. Is that going to stop people from watching it? Maybe a little bit. I'll be checking it out, but I'm one of those guys who I need to watch something so I can talk about it. Otherwise, I have issues. So
yeah,
I love how in the trailers they show he's like, like, please, can I kill her? Let me just please, I really want to kill her. Let me shoot her. Can I shoot her? Can I just just a little bit? And then, when Faye is, I think she was with a dog and she's in a ship and she's blowing him a kiss goodbye and waving. I guarantee you that's when she's stealing one of their scores because she did that shit in the show all the time.
So you guys think they're going to bring Ed in later?
I do.
I don't see how you can really do. I mean, I don't know what you think. But I don't see how they can tell this whole episodic series without that character.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it'd be really weird.
It'd be like MASH without Hawkeye or something, right? Is that too old of a reference for our crowd? I don't know.
I don't think so. I get the reference.
No.
I'm older than Cinco de Mayo. Baby.
Yeah. Friends without Phoebe. Is that a good analogy? I don't know.
There you go. That's a good one.
Well, God, you're driving me crazy.
Zach's.
He's staying in character the whole time.
Do I do a ton of name calling? That depends if the client listens to my tax advice or not. If they don't listen and then they end up doing something stupid and then I got to fix it, there's a whole lot of name calling that goes on, even if the check clears. But no, I don't know this. I don't understand this industry. I don't think I think they think, I went to school with some of these elitist weirdos that are in Hollywood. And I swear they think they're better than the rest of us. Even though I went to the same school, they just have this attitude. I think they think we're subjects that we're supposed to worship them and just swallow whatever they throw down on us, eat cake kind of thing. Mm-hmm. Versus, hey, we're paying customers here. We work hard. When we make a decision to spend 10, 20, 30 bucks and we go to the movies, that's money we got to make and earn and have probably already paid taxes on, for God's sake.
So
Right.
I want to say something to that comment you just posted, Kadish, if that's okay, to Andre Enrico. I 100% agree with Death Note and Sandman. But hush your mouth about Moto! It's great! It's great! Did you see the new trailer, guys? The Moto trailer?
Wait. Did you say did you say Revelations is great?
I love it. I don't care what anybody says. I will fight you to the death. In a hell in a cell.
I thought
It's a joke, right?
I thought the new trailer for the back 5 episodes was pretty good.
Yeah, the new trailer looks really awesome. Although I still can't get over Skeletor. Doesn't sound like this. He sounds like the Joker, you know.
You sound like a better Skeletor.
Yeah.
You flea-bitten furbag.
You sound way better than Mark Hamill.
I know, it's terrible. I don't know. Like, that's something that's really my only gripe with the show is Mark Hamill, which is sad because he's Mark Hamill. But
I guess
I'm
we
not
can.
going to distract us, but one of my most epic rants are about Revelations, but I'm not going to distract this show with that.
I have no issue transitioning to the new released trailer for part 2 of Masters of the Universe. We all watched that this week, right?
Oh yeah,
I've only seen it once, so I'm probably not the best person to lead this part of the conversation. But it's, to me, it just looked like more of the same. I mean, I don't think I'm really the target demographic for this, and I really wasn't happy with the first half of the season. It wasn't a He-Man show; it was a Tila show.
So here's the thing: did you watch the original series?
Yeah.
Okay. So there are several episodes. You know, like spoilers for a fucking 40-year-old cartoon.
No, there's no spoilers.
Tila is the sorceress's daughter.
Yeah, we know.
Okay,
this.
and there was like a whole episode about in the original. I'm talking about the original series where she's going to be the next sorceress, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this has kind of been like everybody online was bitching about her taking over He-Man. She's not taking over He-Man. This is her hero's journey to become the sorceress, which you could see in this new trailer because I'm not spoiling anything because it's in the trailer. Evelyn, now that Skeletor is, whatever they're calling him, He-Man version of Skeletor, Evelyn is now the sorceress. And so the trailer, shows that Tila's got to get over this anti-magic thing and embrace her destiny and become the sorceress in order to defeat the new sorceress and Skeletor with He-Man, who they show in the trailer 2 different ways.
He-Man's not dead.
Yeah.
No.
They show him in this weird, like Conan the Barbarian form, which is more true to the original conceptual drawings of him, like way back when. Because this was all based off of Conan. They wanted to do like a kid's version of Conan. And that's where he calls the power Grayskull without the sword. And then later we see him as normal He-Man with the sword. So I get, it's the only thing I don't like about trailers. They do kind of spoil a lot. So we know that like He-Man's alive. He's going to get his sword back. There's going to be a big fight.
We also got Orko.
Yeah, and that
at the
bothered
very
me
end.
because I knew Orko was going to come back, but they shouldn't have put that in the trailer. I think they did that because everybody bitched about Orko dying. I'm like, are you guys stupid? Do you not watch fantasy? Do you really think dead people stay dead in these type of things?
People never die in comic book movies and the cartoons. It just doesn't ever happen.
Yeah.
It can't happen. Yeah. That's why I get so annoyed with the Spider-Man movies because they always kill their villains at the end. So, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, look, the trailer wasn't half as bad as I thought it would be for me. So I am eagerly anticipating watching this thing and devouring it, and hopefully, and then I'll make my judgment on all the episodes when this arc is done. But I absolutely detested and hated the first 5. I thought it could have been done a lot better in many, many ways. And maybe I'm a little bit different and weird because probably this franchise is probably near and dear to my heart than you would say Star Trek or something like that.
So, Zax, in response to your comment, first of all, if you guys don't see the sexual tension between Tila and Prince Adam, and that's why she's so pissed off at him for lying, and you think she's a lesbian, and stop feeding into this right-wing propaganda bullshit. I mean, there's left-wing propaganda shit too, trust me. I mean, but like it comes at you from all sides. Just it's fucking get that shit out of it and just enjoy the ride, man. Just, because like I guarantee you she's not a lesbian. And I don't understand where people get that from because there's so much, she gets so mad over at Adam. And like some friend, like if you're just friends, you're not going to get as mad as she got, as hurt as she got. She was in love with him. I mean, if you watch the original series, they're always flirting. They're always like, there's, you know what I mean? It's subtle, but I don't know.
It's the haircut.
I think that's really all it is, man. Come on.
Definitely the haircut. the haircut.
Yeah, definitely the
It's
haircut.
my first show, and I want to make sure I get invited back. So I'm just going to bite my lip here.
No, I'm usually on the losing end of these debates because
he's
salty nerd podcast, not the positive nerd podcast. So get salty, my friend. Get salty.
Okay, well, basically, I mean, you've already everything that you already said. I mean, whether you call me right wing or not, regardless of that, her haircut can go fuck herself. You know, her muscles are just, I mean, she obviously never missed Arm Day. I couldn't stand the thing. Orko was my favorite character, and I got to tell you, maybe it's just me because I'm a little hypersensitive about He-Man, but He-Man is like literally probably one of my two favorite franchises ever on planet Earth. And I expected something different. In my mind, this was my thought, and this is a flaw. I'm going to accept responsibility for this flaw because in my head, I made a mistake as to when I saw Revelation and what I thought it was going to be about is I thought that we were going to see something more like the Great Revelation would have been father to son, and I'm really He-Man, and I'm the guy who's been saving this thing over and over. And I thought there might be some kind of storyline arc about that. And now, is there anything that would have led me to that? No, but having I've owned every iteration of every episode, watched it multiple times. More recently, sent my kid the DVD, full set. Who doesn't live with me? Lives with his mom in Connecticut. I live in South Carolina, and I was expecting something different. I wasn't expecting the Tila journey. Now, should it bother me so much? I don't know. It got me triggered on Midnight's Edge like severely, and then again on Doomcock. But in all the ways that I can go there, but I don't want to go there right now because I've already gone through it. I'm just going to get heated and upset.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I'm one of the most positive guys on the internet. I'm going to give these next 5 episodes a shot. I will say that the trailer wasn't anywhere near as bad as I thought it was going to be. I'm surprised that I was surprised by it, and I'm going to be open to a lot of things that you just said because. Maybe I need to have a bit more of an open mind, and I was too judgmental, critical, and dropped the hammer too fast.
I think they screwed up by not dropping them all at the same time.
I absolutely think that's the case.
Yeah,
I absolutely think that's the biggest mistake here is that if this whole arc, if the whole arc, it's kind of like this. It's like they create an opportunity for those of
Broken Birds loves the cock. Sorry to interrupt you, Mike.
Oh, it's okay.
Keep putting these comments up.
That's so funny.
Loves the cock.
So they created an opportunity for some of us hardcore He-Man, like traditionalists, whatever, to literally lose our minds. They should have just dropped the whole damn thing at once and allow it to sit for itself.
Yeah.
And there's no reason not to do that. I mean, there really wasn't.
Yeah, I don't know what I think. Kevin, we talked about this before, but Kevin Smith said on his podcast, look, Netflix's reasoning was because they released that other kids version of He-Man, the CGI one on Netflix in between, and they didn't want to release all their stuff, like their He-Man IP, at once. In fact, they were originally going to hold part 2 until 2022, but because of the internet backlash, what I read was Kevin Smith was like, "Please release this shit. I'm tired of getting shit on online. People need to see the last 5 episodes." So.
Maybe they fix it. Maybe they do. I don't know. I think for me, it was mostly an aesthetic thing. I did like Iron Man said. I didn't like the haircut. I didn't like the hyper masculinitization of the female characters, especially Tila. I didn't like the design elements of it, and there definitely was some lesbian
undertones
going on there, Danny. Whether you think it's there or not, you're Mr. Super fan over there with your fucking blinders on. Okay,
I don't know, man. I think it says more about the viewer than it does the show.
Again. So that's just what I have to say about
that.
So
to answer Zach's question he's left up here, I think she'll choose Adam. I mean, because they've already said that He-Man, like Kevin Smith's already said, it's He-Man season 2, and so I really,
Danny, they also said it was He-Man season 1. They could be screwing with us. But honestly, who cares? It's a cartoon.
Wait, Zach is a liberal in Canada?
Aren't all Canadians liberals?
I don't know. I love them anyways. I was a liberal from California until I moved.
Kevin Smith also the Netflix does not care about fans.
All I know is this: Tila has motivated me and inspired me, so that now the tax season is done, I'm never going to miss any arm days. Mexican Iron Man is going to commit. I'm going to drop some weight.
I'll go there.
You heard it here, ladies and gentlemen, on the Salty New Podcast. Mexican Iron Man is going to lose some of this blubber. He's going to not miss any arm days, and I'm going to get me some Tila arms so that when I wear my basement dweller shirt, the muscles are ripping out at the seams.
Yeah, dig it.
All right, well, let's move on.
Okay.
What was the next thing we watched this week? Oh,
Witcher 2.
The Witcher 2.
Matt, you're frozen. You're not there. Witcher 2. So what did we all think about the Witcher 2 trailer? Again, this is something I have, other than the season 1, which I did not like. I haven't played the games and I haven't read the books. So I'm not the right kind of guy to talk about this.
Well, that's not necessarily true. I'm in the exact same boat, but I've got plenty of
season
opinions.
Season 1, I'll just stay straight up. I wasn't a huge fan. I did not like the penis wrinkle armor. I didn't like the hardcore time shifting. I thought I thought a lot of the special effects were absolute garbage video game level stuff.
Which season are you talking about, the trailer?
I'm talking about season 1. I'm talking about
season 1. Okay.
But I'm working up to something here. But after watching season 2 trailer, I feel like a lot of this stuff has been addressed, and I have heard that there's not going to be a bunch of time shifts in this. So are people interested in actually watching this after season 1 was not that great, or are we good to go now? What's going on with this?
Well, if I may, I feel like I'm talking
please.
a lot.
No, go ahead.
I liked season 1 a lot. I'd never played the games, never read the books.
Mm-hmm.
I agree with some of your concerns with the visual effects and things like that. And I think the reason that the second season's trailer looks better and overall season 2 will probably look better is because of the success of the first one. You know, they're kind of making a gamble. It wasn't a proven commodity the first time around. Now it's like it was so wildly popular. You know, I think they're putting the money into it. And I completely agree with the time jumps. I think we've got Broken Birds in the chat. I was talking to her, you know, back when season 1 came out about how confused I was because she's a mega fan of that.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just like, I was so terribly confused with the time jumps because they don't fucking tell you their time jumps. Like at least in like movies, they'll be like, you know, 15 years ago or, you know, 3 days prior or some shit like that. Like I watched Extraction, which I'd love to talk about a little bit later, but you know, and it starts out and it's like 2 days earlier, you know, like, you know, they don't make it clear. So I really do hope they get rid of that because that I did watch season 1 twice because I enjoyed it, but I was confused and I felt it's kind of like Foundation. I tweeted the other day, like I feel stupid sometimes watching some of these shows because I just like, I'm like, fuck, I got to watch it again, like to get it, you know, and it takes me a second watch to get it, you know?
So Dark Knight, I agree with everything that you just said, brother. I never played the video games, never read any books, nothing. I went into it. I started liking it, and then I just got confused and lost. And it's funny that you mentioned the rewatch aspect because I've been meaning to go back and rewatch it before season 2 came out. And when the trailer dropped and I saw it, I'm like, okay, looks kind of interesting, looks kind of good. But I was lost, bro. Like I remember there were 2 or 3 episodes. I can't remember exactly which numbers they were, but there were at least a couple where I had to go back and replay. Like I would go back, like you know, like it felt like almost like I'd gone to the bathroom, but I was still standing there. You know, when you miss something, you know, and like you got to go back and like, okay, wait, why did that happen? And maybe I don't know. Maybe it's like you said just now. Maybe if I had read the books or watched the games, I'd had a different reaction. By the time the series was over, I literally felt like I was watching something. I'm like, well, if this thing's so great, I should just play the video game. And I never did, but that's kind of how I felt because one of the things that Vader was just talking about was like the graphics were not that spectacular. Mm-hmm. I mean, I felt like I was in the 80s or 90s type of thing.
that dragon in that one episode was brutal. The dragon in that one episode in the cave, and it was just like, and it's not, that's just the example at the top of my head. But there was other examples. I thought like the swamp creature in the very first episode was fantastic.
Yeah.
But it was like they blew their entire budget on that. So and then they had to go to the crappy video game CGI dragon after that. So it was very inconsistent, and that I think that's kind of one of the things that bothered me about that first season.
Oh my God. That's my mother. That's funny. You didn't watch wrestling with me, Bob, so you went, no.
The video games actually take place after the books had ended. So CD Projekt Red basically kind of went in their own direction once they got the license with the world of The Witcher, and they actually expanded upon the world in a way that created the fan base that we know that The Witcher has now. I've read the books, I've played the game, so I'm coming at it a little bit different from what you guys are, but I feel like the first season wasn't the best representation of the Witcher universe. And seeing season 2, it feels like they finally got to the point where they've kind of set up the world and set up the politics and the factions and everything. So now they're going to be able to go forward with kind of the main thrust of the stories, because the Witcher's books are actually very Game of Thronesy. Like there's a lot of politicking going on. And there are a lot of these like short stories that Geralt has a play in, and they've done a really good job of adapting those short stories for the TV show. Like there's a scene in the trailer where he's sitting down with this monster at a dinner table. And that's actually one of my favorite short stories from the books is that story where he basically runs into this monster that he's been hired to kill. And he finds out he's just some cool dude who got cursed and looks like a monster. And so like he just kind of chills out with the guy, instead of killing him. And so like he has to figure out who cursed the guy and see if he can like lift the curse. So
you since you've read the books, because I don't have any reference, but I was talking to a friend the other day who told me that this trailer reminded them a lot of the Blood of Elves book. Does that sound right to you? Or if it does, could you kind of explain that to me?
So the first book, which I think that they used as the source material for the first season, was a series of short stories. It wasn't an actual novel. And when they get into that book, that's an actual novel from beginning to end. It's not a series of short stories. So that's where the main thrust of like the political rivals in Syria and all this stuff starts.
So maybe that's why there was all that time jumping, because of the different short stories.
Probably.
And this one won't have that because it's one cohesive story.
Well,
Sorry, I didn't interrupt you. Just thought.
I also think that they listened to a lot of the backlash because the main criticism of season 1 was how confusing it was with the time jumps. So I think that they were just like, okay, in season 2, we're not going to do that. Also important to note is that in season 1, so they didn't, their license was for the books, the Netflix license, and the video game license was something separate. So they couldn't take stuff from CD Projekt Red games and put it into the show. They had to change it for legal reasons. But I think since then they've come to some type of agreement with CD Projekt Red where they can take stuff from the video games and incorporate it into the show, which is why the penis wrinkle armor isn't a thing anymore and stuff like that. So season 2, we're going to see it kind of gel a little bit better with what video game fans know from the games. So I think that's a good.
And a friend of mine was saying the Emperor in the video game is going to be the big baddie of this second season. Is he in that book as well, or?
It's been a while since I've read the book, so I don't really remember. But I liked what I saw of the season 2 trailer. Yeah,
no, definitely agree with that. Yeah.
So do you guys recommend? So, Cadis, do you recommend then that you recommend either reading the books or playing or getting into the games? Because I heard getting into the games is like a whole other tunnel that you can drop into. But I'm looking for other fandoms. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I always recommend reading the books.
Okay.
The video game. So if you're going to play the video games, just play game number 3. The first 2 video games I didn't think were all that good, but game 3 is like a masterpiece. So it's a role playing game. You get exposed to a lot of the lore, a lot of the stuff with Siri.
Our Amazon affiliate link to pick that game up will be in the description below.
It's also an old game, but it's got 2 expansions which are really good. So
is it a PC game? When you say is it?
Yeah, it's PC, but it's also on consoles. So
okay.
It's CD Projekt Red's masterpiece, basically. It's great.
I have it. I played it for about 20 minutes one night in front of and on the stream. And
well, look, I thought the trailer's good enough to make me want to watch season 2. I'll tell you that.
Oh yeah, definitely,
100%.
So, and Jennifer. Oh my God,
Joker. There is a anime movie that they did. It's not about Geralt. It's a different Witcher. But they have it on Netflix. I think it's called something of the Wolf. I'm blanking on the title right now, but you can find it on Netflix. It's there.
I think there's going to be enough in season 2 to satisfy the book readers and the video game players. That's kind of I watched a couple little videos about stuff that was Easter eggy in the trailer, and I guess they're going to be like your Beast guy. You know, anybody who's familiar with the books or whatever knows who he is, and there's a vampire lady who's like a big player, and I guess they spend a lot of time in the castle or training home of the Witchers this year. So I mean, I think people from the video games will be kind of excited about that too. So it looks pretty good. I think I'm looking forward to it. I don't know if I'm going to have time to go back and rewatch season 1 again. I don't even know if I want to. So
what did that mean, Kadish, that Vesemir thing you put up a second ago?
So Vesemir is the Witcher that the anime movie follows. He's the main character of that movie. And Broken Birds,
the Wolf, right? Or
yeah, whatever that is. When Roach randomly appears on the roof, so Geralt always calls his horse Roach. And in the video game, there was this glitch where when you call the horse, it would just appear on rooftops randomly. So it's kind of funny.
All right.
Thanks for stopping by, Broken Birds.
So I think it's safe to say we're all going to be watching The Witcher season 2 then. That's good. I know I'm going to. Oh, yeah. But how about God, I can't believe I'm even going to say this. God, you need to chill, bro.
How about coffee?
Yeah, season 2 of Tiger King.
Are we really going to fucking talk about
Tiger King season 2?
Yes.
The trailer released a couple days ago.
Dude, the trailer was awesome.
I hate you.
Yeah.
I hate you.
Vader, I don't know if I still feel like with myself that I even kept watching and finished season 1.
Oh, it was brutal. It was so brutal.
I feel like I'm not the best version of myself that I could be since I got through season 1. You know what I mean?
I absolutely despise Mr. Kadish up there.
Why?
For making me watch that series to begin with, and now that for having to watch season 2. This thing.
How did they make us? How is there a season 2?
I don't know. It's everything. It's everything. It's wrong with American television culture. That's what it is. It's awful. I
know, right? Okay, Vader, right? Vader, don't you
makes me want to rip out my hair.
I know. You feel like less of like I don't even know what to say. Like
it makes me feel very good about my large, overweight, just stupid self because I feel really normal compared to some of these people.
Dude, they're crazy.
They're nuts. They're absolutely nuts.
They're crazy.
But, yeah. I had one experience where I got to tell a friend of Carol Baskin's that I totally think that she killed her husband. That was fun. You guys can
pretty sure everybody does.
You can see that interview on our Star Trek convention.
But she's in the
stuff.
She's all in that trailer.
Yeah, she's in two. They're all back. They're all back.
Which I don't understand. Like it's so bizarre.
What I'm really curious is how many episodes that they're going to drag this out into. And if we're going to get a season 3, because because Americans are stupid. We're just the dumbest people when it comes to stupid entertainment. Matt, what do you got to say? I know you're probably just chomping at the bit up there because you love this crap, and I don't understand why. So have at it, my friend. Go down.
Yeah, I loved the first Tiger King series. It was just such a fascinating look into this bizarre world of like exotic cat people. And they were so weird and bizarre. And then you throw in the true crime aspect where people were plotting to kill other people and all this other stuff. It was really fascinating to me. And the characters that came from this show, like Carol Baskin, like fuck that bitch, the memes that came from the show, like everything. It was amazing. And when I saw the season 2 trailer, I was like, I don't know how they're going to pull off a season 2 for this, but like, there are just so many crazy people that are still involved in this world that, you got the guy who has the swinger wife who opened up the new tiger zoo. And he's going to be a big part of this. You saw him a little bit towards the end of the first season, but he's got a business rivalry with this other guy. And then like the guru dude who was running the harem, he got arrested and stuff like that. Carol Baskin, a big focus is going to be on like what actually happened to her husband and all the conspiracy theories with that. And they hinted that Joe Exotic and Carol Baskin team up to take on the bigger, crazier people at a certain point. Like it was fascinating to me to kind of see like what they're doing with this season. I personally can't wait to watch it. I think it's going to be bonkers.
Yeah.
I mean, Vader, look, I mean, Matt, I'm actually surprised you're so excited. I mean, to me, one of the things I love about you is that because I got to know you Midnight Edge, right? For a long time, I would just watch you, and you have these intelligent, insightful analyses and criticisms, critiques of all these properties and fandoms, and you're a Tiger King fan.
I am a Tiger King fan. I like what I like. What can I say? I've always been a big.
It's not like I didn't watch the whole season. I mean,
I can't say shit. He likes Tiger King. I like pro wrestling. You know, everybody's got their guilty.
I mean,
everybody likes pro wrestling.
I've always been a big true crime fan. I really like true crime. I like wrestling. I just haven't been into it since college. But you know, the true crime aspect of it is what really fascinates me, because not only did you get all these larger than life characters and like this bizarre culture, but you got stuff where it's like, yeah, they're planning to kill each other. They're burning down stuff for like the arson money, and you had the guy that Scarface was based on showing up just randomly talking about like his experience. Like it was truly fascinating. Like same thing with Making a Murderer. I love that. And season 2 is even better than season 1. So I'm kind of like, if they can pull that off with this, where the season 2 is actually even more captivating than season 1, I'd be all for it. But
Making a Murderer, that was the one with Brandon and
the Dassies. But you know, Vader likes to talk shit, but he made us watch these David Spade episodes where he was interviewing people.
Well, they were actually funny because David Spade's funny.
Yeah.
So did anybody else notice? Because I know at least Kadish has watched Only Murders in the Building, but in this trailer for Tiger King 2, the cop. yeah, that's true. Usually intelligent people love watching stupid people. There was a cop right in the trailer where they were talking about wanting to like know the truth and get to the bottom. Like, are they trying to have this like Only Murders in the Building? The cop was giving them clues so they could be the ones to solve the case, because the cops are just like, screw this. And like, I was kind of getting that vibe from this. Is this TV show trying to be like true crime kind of? Get to the bottom of this, you know?
So the thing about Only Murders in the Building is that the cop got the case wrong and they closed the case, and she couldn't reopen it without embarrassing herself.
Right.
Which is why she fed them the clues. With Tiger King, like, this is like legit, like cops don't actually do that, you know?
Right.
So.
Yeah. Well, he just like, it seems like, because there was all this like, you know, you put an innocent man in jail, you know, free Tiger King, you know, they had the Trump thing,
I don't think Joe Exotic was innocent.
Oh, I don't either. I'm just saying that's what the trailer said, you know. So.
Well, no, that's what he said in the trailer.
Okay. I thought somebody else said that. It was like a voiceover when they were showing stuff. But
I didn't
catch when it comes on. When does it get released?
I believe it comes out in November sometime.
November 17th, I think it was.
Yeah.
I want to say.
Yeah, but I'm going to be watching the shit out of that.
Are you guys going to be reviewing it weekly?
No,
hell no.
Also,
are they dropping everything at one time?
Yeah, it's a Netflix show, so it's all bingeable.
All right,
so
it's like normal.
We might do like a season 2 review at some point, but you know,
look at Vader. Look at Vader. Vader's like.
Hey, this is why I'm glad I'm a guest panelist, Vader. You have to do that kind of shit.
No, I don't. I say I'm not doing it. It's not hard at all.
Well, we did season 1, but that was audio only, and that was very early on in the podcast. Yeah. And it'd be fun to go back, kind of like what we did with C, and do like a season 1 recap, and then do our season 2 review. Yeah, Vader gets all 4 of us get a vote. So like, if you outvoted on that, we're not doing it.
I know Alex isn't going to want to do it, so I feel pretty safe about not having to watch it. If I don't want to, I'll probably watch it, just so you know. But
I'm not going to talk about it. God damn it!
Yeah,
You say that,
I don't know. I just
so salty. You'll want to.
I'm not a big fan of reality TV and the whole genre of it. I don't like it. I think reality TV has just been terrible for society, and yes. I think it's a way for networks to make really bad, cheap product, and I think it's just makes everybody dumber for watching it. Everything from this kind of stuff to the Kardashians, and you know it's terrible. It's bad TV, and it's just
Testify. Amen.
I don't like it, so I
Couldn't
don't,
agree with
I don't
you
watch
more.
any of
I
that
agree.
stuff.
Unfortunately, Vader, I got to admit that I'm hooked on one show that's really stupid and lame, but I'm hooked on it, and that's The Curse of Oak Island.
Never even heard of it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I haven't
The
watched.
History Channel thing.
I've only watched a couple episodes of that too. I mean,
Oh, God bless you. Don't get into it. You'll be sucked in like the rest of us.
That's why I'm
like
glad
they're-
I don't have
I
cable
just-
or
I-
internet.
I see these
Or-
guys spending millions of dollars to dig a big, deep
Satellite.
pit, and all they ever find is pieces of driftwood and dirt. So whatever.
Right? It's like, oh my God, we just spent $1.5 million, but we found this coffee lid.
I know.
That could
Yeah.
have been from someone who searched for something that may have
It's
found
from-
something that we haven't
maybe
found.
it
From
was-
the set of Game of Thrones.
Maybe it was from a Ponce de Leon's boat or something. Back when they had because they had canned coffee on the boat back then. Yeah, it's terrible. Tiger King was a beautiful pandemic train wreck. You know what? That is very true. If it wasn't for the pandemic, I'm kind of curious if it would have been as popular as it was, because it came out right when we were all being locked up into our homes. That was during our like furlough. We were all furloughed here in Las Vegas. There was nobody working. Everybody was at home, and it was pretty rough. There was literally nothing else to do but sit at home.
I went rollerblading on the strip, which was amazing.
Yeah, it would have been cool, and watch Tiger King back then. So I'm really wondering if maybe that did have a bit of a.
I guess we'll find out if season 2 is a
thing.
flop, because shit, everybody's back to work now. It seems like the
I
traffic
got to
in
tell you
Vegas.
that there may have been a reason that gave people the opportunity to watch,
Mhm.
but everybody that has watched, look at me. I am reluctantly. Matt's like racing to it to be released.
Mhm.
As soon as it releases, I'm watching it and I'm deep diving it that weekend. I know
So,
I am. And I hate myself for it, but I am.
What's going to happen to me is it's going to be like How to Make a Murder. What was that one, Matt?
How,
The Dassies and
making
a murder. Yeah. So what happened to me with that show, and this is kind of what happens with me with a lot of these stupid shows like this, is I'll go to work, and all of a sudden everybody in the building is talking about this stupid show, and I have no frame of reference. So then I have to go home and I have to watch these stupid shows so I can have something to talk about and not be completely bored out of my mind at work.
That sounds
So,
like Squid Game. It's like
Yeah,
I had to finally
I've
watch
only-
it because everybody on Earth did, but I liked it.
Right,
so.
right. And that was what Tiger King was with me, is everybody was talking about it so much. I had to watch it just so I could be part of the conversation. So that's what happens with those few shows that kind of really get in the fabric of our entertainment culture. Squid Games is a great example of that. I haven't finished Squid Games. In fact, I've only watched 2 episodes of it.
Oh wow!
But I'm gonna watch it. What's
I'm on
another
my
one?
second watch.
Karate Kid, I think, is another good example.
Cobra
of that.
Kai.
Cobra Kai, yeah, because that started out as just a stupid little show that they made on YouTube Red, right? And now it's like
Yeah.
the whole world's waiting for that thing to come out with its next season. So,
Vader, you haven't seen all of it?
of what?
Cobra Kai.
No, I'm caught up on Cobra Kai.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
for sure.
No,
I
he said
actually
he
liked
hadn't
it.
seen- he hadn't seen all of Squid Game, is what he had.
I haven't seen all of Squid Game yet. But
Okay.
Squid Game, Cobra Kai. Sometimes these shows, they have a hit and they resonate with people. And I'm not sure Tiger King would have been that popular if it wasn't for the whole COVID, everybody being stuck at home thing. But I guess we'll find out.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, here's the thing,
Cobra Kai's
and this is, I don't know who said this earlier, you did or Kate said this, but don't underestimate the level of stupidity in America, or
Oh,
the
yeah.
people that want to watch stupidity,
Mhm. Stuff like Squid Game, I feel is it's original. It's well produced. It's a cool show.
Yeah, I'm watching. So the first time I watched Squid
But-
Game, I watched it with the dub, the English dub,
Mhm.
and then I heard all this controversy over it's different. So now I've been watching it with the subtitles. And I
Yeah.
think I'm on episode 3 or 4 now. We just finished watching the one with the honeycomb game,
Mhm.
and it is totally different. Like the
Really?
it's weird. Like what they say is totally different. It's so weird. It's like.
Okay,
So
wait,
now
wait,
I'm
wait,
kind
wait.
of convinced I should I normally hate subtitles, but I'm kind of convinced now maybe I should.
Wait, you watched
And the
this?
performances are better too, because the English dub, like that one, the crazy, I forget her name, but the one who's kind of like the only one that has sex in it, the crazy lady, the whatever, her voice in the English dub is so over the top and crazy, but it is not like that in her original Korean performance. Same thing with dude's mom, with Giwin's mom. 456. She was kind of, her English version was kind of over the top, but the performance was way different. So I'm actually enjoying it more in Korean this second watch around. So
with the subtitles on, you said.
No, I'm not. Yes, obviously, because I don't
Not
understand
the
Korean.
dub.
So
Yeah,
what,
not the dub. The
what you're saying,
subtitles.
what you're saying is it's better to read it than it is to listen.
Yeah, because
Okay.
what they say is a lot different, than what you know what I'm trying to say, like than what the subtitles say.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're trying to say.
Bro, I'm going to take your recommendation then. I'm going to do that.
Yeah.
I've always had a policy that I hate to read movies.
I do too, man. But so many people,
I'm learning that maybe sometimes I should just read them.
Yeah.
Because you get the proper voice inflections and you can hear the tones better.
And the performances are less comedic, more serious, and like the words are actually like what they're saying is different, and it's subtle stuff, but it makes a difference. You know what I mean? Like there was one scene that comes to mind where, remember when everybody was splitting up into groups the first time. This is in the first or second episode, I think.
Yeah.
You know, and they're like, and the nasty gangster guy is trying to talk the pickpocket girl into joining his team again. Dude, in Korean, he's being a skeezy perv, like way more than the English. Like he is like, you really fucking hate that guy more. He's saying really fucked up shit to her. And then that girl that comes in to interrupt him and he's saying way more fucked up shit to her in the Korean version. He's like when he's doing that part or whatever, he's talking about there's some empty beds, we basically fuck right now, shit like that. And that is not what they say in the English version. So it was just that's the first one that comes to mind. But yeah, I highly recommend it. And,
I'm finding it fascinating that people are starting to figure out that the products we're getting out of Korea seem to be far more superior here lately than what we're getting over here out of Hollywood. Train to Busan, what's the Kingdom?
Yeah.
Space Sweeper, man.
Squid Game, Space Sweeper, and I'm sure there's a ton of stuff that I haven't even.
Well, creativity is still allowed to flourish, I guess, there, whereas here in Hollywood, creativity is defined by take someone else's shit and jack it up.
Well, it's not only that, but like these wokesters have fucking ruined Hollywood, man.
Yeah,
everything's got to have some kind of secret political agenda, and I'm like, why are you doing this to my? Like, I go to entertain. I go to be entertained. I go to get an escape from life. When I go to watch a movie or something like that, watch a TV show, I'm trying to check out of my shitty life. I'm trying to check out of all the bullshit politics and everything like that. And I want to suspend my disbelief and be entertained. I don't want to have some fucking agenda smashed into my face like while I'm trying to watch Star Trek. Like, what the fuck is that?
No,
you know what I mean?
No, and this representation crap, I'm a secured guy. Mexican Iron Man does not want to see Mexican Iron Man on stage on screen. Okay? All right, I already see too much Mexican Iron Man when I look in the mirror every day. All right, bad enough.
I also think it's kind of insulting that Hollywood only thinks that you can identify with people that look like you.
Yeah.
It's racist, brother.
Yeah, isn't that like the exact opposite of what they're trying to accomplish?
Brother, it's the worst form of racism, and it's so. I mean, look, I just got triggered like a mofo on Midnight Edge After Dark. Was a Thursday night when someone sent in a super chat and made me watch a Dorito Spanish commercial for Halloween that they did. These people are insane. They're nuts, bro. They're nuts. I mean, I didn't leave the Democratic Party. They left me. So that's all I got to say about that crap.
Yeah, they're just out to destroy our culture, man. It's unbelievable. And these people that are writing and producing these things, it's outrageous. I mean, and it's all over. It's from television, movies, comic books.
Star Trek is a great example of something that's been ruined by this.
Yeah,
I
know. I've talked to people online. It's even going into like the literary world and kids books and everything. But you got to get them young. It's crazy. I don't know, man. I didn't want to get super deep into this stuff today, but
well, good. Hey, then let me use that as an opportunity to segue, because you said you got to get them young. Somebody in the chat mentioned it, probably because I said it. So I just watched Extraction finally, because the last time I was on this stream with you guys, y'all recommended it. And sometimes I take notes when you
Extraction. That's the Chris Hemsworth.
Oh my god, it was yes, Chris Hemsworth. Thor. Fucking good. Yeah, Thor's Chris Hemsworth.
Yeah. Okay, man.
You know what blew my mind is like you were talking about getting them early. Those fucking kids, man, and how like I don't want to spoil anything, but him just smacking that kid around and not killing, because the whole time when he first meets that kid in that alleyway, I'm like, kill that motherfucker, kill him, because he's gonna come back and kill your ass. And he doesn't. He just smacks him around, and it's just like it's funny or whatever. But then it bites him in the ass later in the movie.
Yeah,
you know. But I don't know. You guys probably already talked about Extraction a lot, but I
no, not really.
Oh,
Well, I mean, we did a whole
review on that.
Yeah.
But if anyone out there is interested in more Squid Games talk, we have an entire bad writing live stream where we broke it down and
that's a good episode.
Analyzed it from a writing perspective and stuff like that. So,
your episode, yes, was it 2 days ago on Dune? That was really good too. I love your bad writing episodes. I always learn something. And I even sent you a text right after for, I was like, I want to sit on that dude Sean's classes, man. Like every time I just love his point of view on stuff, it's like, but that was a really good Dune panel that you did.
Yeah, he is a film professor here at the Southern Nevada University, and Richard Fox, he's a big time science fiction author.
Yeah.
Like we're talking, like I don't know if people realize like how big of a deal he is in the writing world, because like he's written some major, bestsellers and stuff, and he's friends with the guy who writes all the new Dune books, Kevin J. Anderson. Yeah. So like all the Dune sequels and prequels and stuff like that. He has a direct connection to this guy, and so their perspectives on this stuff was really fascinating.
So my son, my 15-year-old son, had obviously never seen the David Lynch Dune. So I was like, hey man, because he wanted to watch the new one. It's like, hey buddy, before we watch the new one, will you entertain me? Will you watch this old one with me? And we did like 2 days ago, and he freaking loved it. And what's funny is, he liked it better than the new one.
What?
I don't know. And he's 15.
Well, the David Lynch Dune gets a bad rap, in my opinion. I really
think
like
it does
that
too.
Yeah, it was so funny.
Also, it's a mostly complete movie, whereas
this one
movie,
just fucking ends.
It's just it's half
Vader
a movie.
when it Vader when it ended, I'm like,
where's the rest?
Yeah, it's like what? It's like this is like
I'm just like, what the hell?
Like if you compare it to the David Lynch movie, there's only like 30 minutes left in the David Lynch movie from that point. It's like,
Lynch did a better job of actually setting up the universe. And Joker, I didn't hate the movie. I just didn't think that it was as good as everyone's saying it is. So
I
loved it.
I couldn't even give it a grade when we talked about it, because it's only half a movie.
Yeah, our review of Dune is coming out tomorrow for everyone out there, so be sure to subscribe to the channel to get it.
All these movies today, it reminded me of Terminator Genesis, because that was not a complete movie either. They like made that movie expecting to make 3 movies. So there was like the movie 1's the beginning, movie 2's the middle, movie 3's the end. Well, guess what? That's why they didn't get the other 2 movies, because people want to see a whole damn movie.
Is that the one with Christian Bale?
No, that's the one with that's the one with Sarah Connors played by
Genesis had Jai Courtney.
Jai Courtney.
Was that the
that was before Dark Fate? That was before the Feminator.
I'm actually you guys are gonna get shit, but I like that movie.
They've made so many terrible Terminator movies.
They have.
I've kind of
it was better than
everything after T2 was
bad. Yeah. Totally agree. Yeah.
The
last one was
T2
bad.
blows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Terminator ended with T2. That was the final Terminator movie.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know. I don't even know what to say about those movies. They're just bad. Yeah. Salvation. I did not hate Salvation, guys.
Oh, that's funny.
I thought that Salvation could have been amazing, but
I did too. Yeah, they did. They really did.
I don't know. My favorite part, I popped my tits off when the CGI Schwarzenegger showed up. That was my favorite part of that movie. So
I think my favorite part, I mean, this is no surprise to anybody who knows me. I just like the eye candy in that movie. I mean, it was a really well done CGI crazy movie. Like the chase scenes. I think there was a chase scene they were on a freeway or something, or
that was Dark Fate.
Dark Fate. You're
see,
okay.
I'm getting them all mixed up. Yeah. Anyway, it don't matter.
But
to Zach's point,
so
Sean did know a little bit about Dune, but he'd never read the show. He was never really a big super fan of it. He'd seen the Lynch version back when it first came out in theaters. That was his reference point.
Yeah.
So
we're talking,
me too. I never read the
ago.
book. I never saw the miniseries. All I've seen is the 1980s movie one time, and that was it.
I actually don't think the miniseries are all that good. The sci-fi miniseries.
See, I never even.
I know that a lot of
knew
people
about
say
those.
like those do a better job of telling the complete story.
I didn't have an issue with that.
But they're so low budget that it's hard to watch.
I kind of want to go rewatch it now. The sci-fi miniseries, just to compare.
When was it made? I've never even heard of this.
That was about 10
early
years ago.
2000s. I want to say.
Okay.
Yeah, it was kind of a big deal.
It was back when Sci-Fi had just rebranded to SY or FY, and they were looking for stuff to really kind of like make them prestige, and so like they made Dune and Children of Dune, I believe. So, Dune Messiah.
It was after their Battlestar Galactica relaunch, right?
I don't remember.
Which was 2001.
Okay, wow. So the miniseries is 20 years old.
So I'm wrong. Yeah,
around
about the same time.
Yeah, me too, Joker voice. I mean, probably more than 20 times because I'm old, but around just real quick I'm curious, like, between the David Lynch version and the Denis Villeneuve version, what's your favorite?
Oh,
definitely the Lynch version.
The Lynch, yeah. I mean, I think so far,
especially the expanded Lynch version, like the 4-hour version. I could watch that all day long. I love that.
I'm not even sure I've seen that one. Where do you find that?
It really sets up like the Butlerian Jihad and like all like the history of the Dune universe, and it took everything that they cut out for the actual version, put it back in there. It's great.
Where do you get? Is that on streaming anywhere? Or do you have to buy that thing?
I don't really know, because like I used to run it on the Sci-Fi channel where it was like the full version of Dune. And
maybe
I'll look it up.
Their app or something.
Yeah, because
Andre.
My son, the way I showed it to my son was on. They have the original Dune on HBO Max, but it's the original theatrical cut that they have.
Andre, the Terminator TV show was great, but shitty ending because it didn't come back to close that thread.
The Sci-Fi Dunes on YouTube. That's pretty funny. So
I like this one way better than the original one, but I thought the 1980s movie was like a more complete story. I didn't finish that movie unfulfilled. This was a cinematic experience. But maybe I had this reaction to Dune because this is the first time I'd been in an IMAX theater in like a year and a half, 2 years. I don't even know when was the last time I was in one.
So Vader, what was yours between the two?
I have a feeling when we get a complete movie from the new stuff, I'm going to probably like the new version better.
I feel you, but right now, because I might not.
But right now, I mean, I've always liked the Lynch movie. I always have.
Okay,
it's got a
no. Don't get me wrong,
but it's a nostalgia, like I think.
Yeah. Well, this movie is beautiful. I mean, like Denis Villeneuve always makes gorgeous looking works of art.
Yeah.
Like,
oh yeah.
Like I don't care what anybody says about Blade Runner 2049, but it's a beautiful looking movie. It is gorgeous.
I like that one.
Do what, Katie?
I like that movie.
Yeah, no, it's a gorgeous movie, and just like this, Dune is gorgeous. But if you're gonna leave me wanting more, and you're telling me I gotta wait over 2 years to see part 2, I'm a heart attack survivor. I might not make it to see the rest of this damn movie.
If you're lucky, most likely 3 years.
Yeah, I mean, right?
Honestly, the wait between the movies doesn't bug me. I mean, I think people are kind of spoiled these days with these movies that are coming out one after another. I mean, come on, guys. We had to wait 3-4 years between Star Wars movies.
Yeah, but the Star Wars movies
same with Indiana
had a
Jones.
beginning, a middle, and an end. Even though they were part of a trilogy, they didn't just like cut off.
No,
like,
I agree.
You know what I mean? So like, I think this is a little different. Because this movie just, he gets into that duel and like says, "Now screw you, Mom. I'm not going off world. I'm a desert man. Let's go walk some more." And it just ends like freaking Lord of the Rings. They're just walking.
Yeah, but we only had to wait a year after Lord
of the Rings. We only had to wait a year.
Yeah.
For this one, we got at least 2. I mean, they're saying an article I read said October 2023. Yeah. So
it'll be here before we know it, and then we're gonna go, man, that was a fast 2 years. I wish it had gone a little slower. We're all gonna be 2 years older and 2 years grayer and 2 years fatter. So yeah, it's it can take its time as far as
okay, fair enough.
We're good. So
Fair enough. So
where are we at? What else we got to talk
Oh,
about?
did you guys see the new shots from Spider-Man No Way Home with Doc Ock and
I have not seen that yet. No.
oh man, like so Empire Magazine dropped like they had an article. There wasn't any like bombshell stuff except for like they Tom Holland probably said a little too much. He said that there was a really good scene with where he's at his place with Aunt May and Happy Hogan, and there's another character who he cannot reveal who it was, but the conversation had to do with what it means to be a superhero. And when he watched the scene back with his brother, he was like, his jaw was on the floor. And so the whole internet went into a frenzy going like, it's either, Toby Maguire or Andrew Garfield, and they're just skirting around like everything. And then there's also Doc Ock's arms. In fact, gosh, I really wish I'd have been on that show yesterday on the podcast. He talked about this a little bit. Doc Ock's arms have gold and red, like Tony Stark colors on them. And I really wish I'd been there live to at least chat, if not be on the show to say, I think what happened is when he fights Tom Holland's Spider-Man on the bridge, because remember, Tom Holland's suit's ran by an AI with the nanobots. That's how he was able to just pose, and then the suit comes on. In Doc Ock's technology, I think Doc Ock probably, I bet you that's the only scene you see that suit in the movie, which is why there are other suits. Doc Ock probably beats the shit out of him, and then he somehow absorbs that AI tech. And that's, I think that picture that they're showing in the Empire magazine is after that fight. And I said it here first, so it's recorded.
Fan Theory by Dork Knight. That's good.
Yeah, that's really what I think is going to go down. But
Did you guys see the news article about the new National Treasure TV show on Disney Plus?
Yeah,
I did not see that.
I wanted to get Mike's take on this because basically they're replacing the Nicolas Cage character with a strong young Latinx dreamer. So, Mike, you want to talk?
Hey,
about
let's just for those watching at home that don't already know from my multiple show appearances on other channels, I cannot stand the word Latinx. I'd rather be called a beaner or a grease ball or any other Mexican word you can come up with that's a slander than Latinx. When I saw this, bro, in fact, it's funny you asked me about this because I don't think it's come up on any shows that I've been on, but I did read about it. And I think it's absolutely insulting, ridiculous horse shit of the umpteenth degree. It is absolute the worst form of pandering that I can absolutely think of. I love National Treasure. Even when it's bad, it's good. It's like pizza for me. The movies are like, even when they're bad, they're still good for me. Like if I'm whizzing through the channel thing and I happen to whiz through it, it's one of the ones I leave on. Now, is it Shawshank Redemption? No. But for whatever reason,
it's fun. It's Nicolas Cage. They're, we're going to steal the Declaration of Independence.
Yeah, man. But God, when I read this announcement, man, it's so disappointing. I'm like, really? Seriously? Come on.
But
I'm not watching this crap.
Actually, I don't want to get into trouble, but
how are you going to get into trouble?
Because I was going to make a comment about cultural appropriation. Because
make the comment, bro. Today I am the Chief Diversity and Inclusion Officer. You, sir, hold on. I rebuke you and acknowledge you and say anything you want. Go.
So did you guys hear about the school teacher who got either fired or suspended because she was teaching her students about Native Americans and she dressed up as a Native American or whatever?
Yeah, I don't watch the news anymore.
And somebody got really upset. Somebody in chat can probably, because I kind of started reading it and I was just so over it. And because I remember the Nerd Bar, which I love here in Vegas, in the Neonopolis on Fremont Street, and those are not sponsored, but they will be someday maybe. They got into a shitload of trouble because some girl there, this is like maybe 2 or 3 years ago, was dressed up as like a sexy Native American. It was a white girl, and she looked good, and she was with a couple friends. They were dressed as something else. They took a picture of it and put it on the Nerd Bar's official Instagram page. And oh my God, you would not believe the
outcry.
Whatever the word I'm looking for, the lashback or whatever, or backlash they got. and they had to take the post down. They had to post an apology and all this other stuff, to the point to where, and maybe I'm just old and out of touch, I had to ask, because this was back when I was in Critical Care Comics, and we used to do events there, because this was right. I think this was before we did the very first Heroes and Villains Ball, which was at the Nerd Bar. And so because I was the marketing director and in charge of all that stuff, I had to contact her. Her name was, I can't remember her name. It doesn't matter. She was a cosplayer. She made a comment about.
We'll call her Brittany.
Sure. I don't think we had a Brittany, so that's perfect. So she made a comment about how effed up that was, and cultural appropriation, all this, and so. So I had to hit her up. I was like, hey man, like, I appreciate that you feel that way. Could you have maybe had a friend do that? Because like, he's an official donation drop-off location. He's a sponsor. We're having our big fundraiser there. He always gives us really good prizes, like Stan Lee signed stuff and things like that. Back when, I don't think they do any of that stuff anymore. But so I was like, can we kind of ease up on this? And man, she doubled down. And it was, and I still to this day, I don't get it, because if we're allowed to recast white people as any other race, why is the opposite taboo? Especially, am I just the old white guy?
Look, I have a lot of Native American friends in the greater DC area. They didn't give a flying F about this issue. In fact, most of them were against renaming the Redskins to whatever the hell National Geographic generic football team.
The Washington football team.
They're just the Washington football team. I still call them the Redskins.
American, okay? Yeah. And let me tell you this much: as Mexicans, hey, Kadish, if you want to put on a sombrero and a serape and go as a Mexican, more power to you, bro. Like, we don't care.
Yeah, am I allowed to eat guacamole anymore?
Bro, Kadish, I'm Mexican. I'm allergic to guacamole. Did you know
Oh no, that's terrible.
Yeah, I can't.
Vader, I'm actually allergic to guacamole. Like, if I eat guacamole, like, my face swells up even more than this.
I love some Mexican food, man. Not gonna lie, I eat it all the time.
That might be the saddest thing I ever heard.
I don't know how we went. I don't know how we went from 60 years ago. And one of the reasons I changed my name from Mike the Mogul to Mexican Iron Man was because I got sick and tired of all my white friends on YouTube and on the internet, Twitter, wherever the hell you guys, getting blasted for being like, no one's seeing your good guys, but getting blasted. So I said, you know what? I'm gonna be Mexican Iron Man, because then no one can say shit that I'm some kind of right wing racist. Because I was on Geeks and Gamers before I had this name and all that, so they thought I was a simp for Jeremy. I said, you know what? F it. I'm gonna go Mexican Iron Man. What are you gonna say? I'm gonna have all these opinions about nerdom and fandom and about bait switching and cultural switching and all this shit. And you can't say I mean, how am I racist? I'm like, the only thing darker than my skin is like asphalt.
I love it.
So back to Matt, it's this question. It's garbage decision. It's a garbage idea. I'm personally insulted. The actress is probably like, if I'm going to cheer on, this is something I talk about with Poly Latino Slant sometimes. If we're going to cheer on that, say some Hispanic actor or actress is going to get a break in Hollywood, it's like, great, they got a break in Hollywood. But you know what? We're not excited, and we get deflated. We're like, oh, but you're going to take over a character that I love that
right.
Like, I don't want Superman. I don't want Superman getting swapped out like to be some super Mexicano with a. I don't want to see Superman with a sombrero, bro.
You make a new character.
Right.
Yes.
It's all you got to do. It's that simple.
Yes.
Well, in this case, make a new franchise, because they're basically taking the National Treasure franchise and putting an illegal immigrant as the main character, and it's just kind of like she checked all the boxes.
Wait. The character. Are you being facetious, or is the character itself correct. Literally going to be an illegal immigrant?
Well, she's a dreamer, which basically
means
that...
you didn't know that part of the article? Oh, I'm so sorry that I didn't mention that part. Wow. Yes.
They really are ticking all the damn boxes, man. That's crazy.
That is another thing. And let me tell you this much. Most U.S. Hispanics, especially in the Southwest, we want that border. And look, I don't want to get political on Matt's kitchen, but we want that border sealed, and we don't want all this horseshit that's happening right now. The vast majority of us, my brother lives in Houston. My relatives that live in New Mexico, down in the South, Brownsville, like, and I got to tell you, when I read that part that she's like a dreamer and she's going to be the one who like takes over the National Treasure franchise, I'm like, F this crap. F
We're
it.
out. Yep.
I'm out.
Oh God, can we please talk about something else?
Sorry, brother. Oh,
it's hard. It's
like
it's
me.
hard.
Good.
it's hard not to talk about something like this or similar to this when we talk about entertainment now, man. It really is.
It is.
They're
yeah.
doing it too much.
It's everywhere.
Yeah.
I just
Yeah.
said the other day. I just said the other day. I can't remember what shows on. I don't know if it was Midnight's Edge or After Dark or Dome Clock. I don't know where I was at, but I said something like this: like, how did we go from 60 years ago? And I'm just going to say it because I'm going to say it. How did we go from 60 years ago, where white dudes are leading the way for the free world, democracy around the globe, and the freedoms we enjoy today, to the point where, like, I got to worry about which one of my heroes is going to get swapped out?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this almost feels like a Kathleen Kennedy decision. But I know she has nothing to do with this show. But
You're right.
Yeah.
So,
like she's very big on, like, let's replace all the men with women and let's replace all white
The
people.
thing that I don't
color.
understand is how it keeps on happening, because these shows and these movies that they put out where they're giving us all this nonsense, they're not successful. They don't make money. Their ratings are bad. These people that support this stuff, they don't purchase or buy merch. They don't go out and buy the action figures. They don't put posters on the wall. Exactly. I mean, that's a perfect example. I mean, it's just it's mind-boggling to me how much they just keep doubling, tripling, and quadrupling down on this absolute nonsense. And I don't get it. I don't get it. It's just like they're trying to ruin the world, and they just let them do it. So
there was a story about this woman who took over Iron Fist, and they were going to do like a new Asian Iron Fist.
Yeah.
And you got banned or blocked by her on Twitter.
I did.
You want to tell people about that?
Well, I don't know if I want to get into that, because I think that I found out a little bit ago that tweet that I used as an example, I think, was fake. But the new writer for Iron Fist allegedly had this really nasty tweet out a while ago, just talking mad crap about Stan Lee and how he was a racist and all this kind of stuff. And
that's so ridiculous.
And
Ridiculous.
yeah, it's awful. And I wasn't the first one. It was making the internet rounds, and it's just like, well, these are the kind of people that Marvel's hiring to run their comic book franchises, to write these stories. People that have zero respect for the people who created their business, for God's sakes. I mean, Stan Lee is an icon.
Not only that, but like
he's the man. He created
in
every
the
single
60s,
one of these characters.
In the back of his comics, his soapbox. I mean, he stood up against and spoke against racism and inequality all the time. You know what I mean? So
he was way ahead of DC.
Way ahead
of
his time too.
God bless Stan Lee, bro. God bless him.
I'm actually surprised that they didn't make Iron Fist a woman. They just made him Asian.
Yeah.
I still think it's ridiculous horse shit.
Yeah, it is.
But so Vader, did you get to watch any AEW this week?
I watched the Wednesday night show.
Nice.
I have gotten to see that one. It was good.
You liked it?
Yeah.
Is that all you want to say about it?
Well, these guys don't watch wrestling, so it's like.
Well, somebody in the chat brought it up. Andre brought up AEW.
Okay,
that's
so
why.
AEW really quick. CM Punk. I need to see a little bit more out of CM Punk, because every one of his matches is the exact same match. I want to see something a little bit different. I want him to be in a legit feud with somebody.
Well, I think that's about to start with Eddie Kingston.
Good. That would be a good one.
You didn't watch Friday?
I have not watched
Rampage.
Friday. No.
But they. It's more like the wrestling 5 minutes. That's about all we get.
The wrestling 5 minutes. Yes.
Yeah. So I loved the. Did you see? I get them mixed up. Did they have the Ghostbusters on the Wednesday show?
That was the Wednesday show. Yeah,
that was the Wednesday show.
It was the Elite dressed up as the Ghostbusters.
Ghostbusters, which was great.
And they fought the Dark Order. Yeah,
and at the end,
and it was ridiculous.
It was awesome.
It was just everybody got their spot, and then they did their thing, and the Dark Order actually won.
Yeah, because Adam Page was hidden.
Yeah, he was in the
Puft.
Stay Puft. Yeah, it was silly.
It was, but you can't. You got to suspend disbelief.
Man. Oh
you can't
yeah,
take the shit seriously. Sure. It's not UFC. Sure.
I did enjoy it.
Yeah, and
I did enjoy it.
But Friday, Bryan Danielson has an amazing match you got to check out
with Eddie Kingston, right?
with
Yeah,
Eddie Kingston.
It's actually I don't know if I got it recorded or not. I think I something screwed up on my DVR, but I'll see if I can find it on YouTube or something. But yeah, man, AEW it continues to be a fun product, and I'm glad they're there. So because WWE really sucks right now.
No, it does. I was just about to say, for any of you guys hoping we touch on WWE, I ain't been watching it, so
I don't even go near it. Yeah. Don't go near it. But yeah.
But Bryan Danielson, and I love the story they're telling with him, because he's literally won every match with a different.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Whether it's a different submission, different pin. He's like,
I think
he hasn't won with the same move yet. You know,
we're gonna get him and Moxley in the finals.
Yeah,
I think Danielson's gonna win, but I think Mox is just gonna be absolute evil, full heel going forward afterwards.
Yeah,
he messed up number 10.
Yeah,
that was a gnarly fight. Blood and just like, oh my god,
bit his head and tore his mask off, and there's blood everywhere.
I was actually really good. His character is going somewhere.
I think he's definitely going to be turn heel, because that promo he cut where he's like, he doesn't care about anything but getting home safe to his baby girl. The only way he can do that is by killing everybody else first before they kill him, type of thing.
I think he actually might have hurt one of the people in the stands when he kicked the gate open.
Yeah,
it was interesting.
And that'll be if so, that'll be a lawsuit. But Tony Khan's richer than God, so he'll be fine.
So anyway, there it is. That's our AEW minute.
There's our
guys.
AEW minute.
Yeah. So keep on going.
Now, also known as Mike and Kate are stare at the screen of the chat stream, waiting for the conversation to conclude.
Sorry.
Or you guys could watch a little wrestling once in a while.
Oh no. I mean, good. I liked I like wrestling back in the day, but good God Almighty, I'd rather watch Tiger King over and over again.
I need to see the Lucha Brothers wrestle again. When's their next big match?
They're Bound for Glory. They're taking on FTR for the titles.
That's going to be a great tag team match.
Yeah, that will be.
That will be amazing. I'm kind of looking forward to that. Yeah. But yeah. Anyway,
okay.
I think
we got one more topic.
Okay, one more topic.
Okay. And if you ever check the private chat, Vader, you'd know what it is. Okay. So you want to take this one, Vader?
No, go ahead, man. You're good.
Let's talk about Alec Baldwin killing some people.
Right.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah,
I guess we have to.
I have no prep for these, but here's the deal. Don't point guns at people. And everybody on that set that gun should have been checked probably 3 or 4 times before it ever got pointed at somebody for the show. And the armor is going to go to jail. Alec Baldwin's probably going to get a slap on the wrist. And I don't know what else to say.
You remember when this happened to Brandon Lee, right?
Yeah.
The Crow back in the 90s. And I don't believe. Has anything like this happened since then? I don't believe so, but I could be wrong. But that's the first time I've heard of this happening since Brandon Lee. And if you take a look at the history, there was no prosecutions back then. It was deemed an accident. Now this is a lot different.
Well, that one back then was because it was shell fragments from the casing of the bullet, or casings of the shell casing.
It wasn't a bullet; it was a projectile that was
right.
Like you're saying. So it was different. Now in this case, depending on where what you believe, as far as the stuff coming out, because the police have said they have not been able to verify this part yet. But, there's been stories of people in between takes, doing target practice with the prop guns, like putting live rounds in them, shooting cans and shit, and then going back, and with the same guns they were just using. And I don't think it's fair. I'm probably going to be on my own here. I don't think it's fair at all to give Alec Baldwin one shred of blame. This poor bastard is going to have to live with this for the rest of his life. And this was the definition of an accident. I feel terrible for him. The woman's family has come out. All of them have said they don't blame Alec Baldwin. They actually showed footage of Alec Baldwin. I don't know if like some paparazzi person took it or whatever, but of him throwing up on the side of the road after this happened.
Yeah. Well, for sure.
He's just destroyed over this. Now, I do think, and then people make the argument, well, he's a producer. You know what? There's like probably fucking 10 producers on that movie. you know, and a lot of times when the actor is also a producer, it's just like for money on the back end. Kadish can probably talk more about this because, you know, he used to work in Hollywood, but there's a ton, most of the time producers are either putting in money, you know, or handling shit behind the scenes, you know. But when you're an actor and you're a producer, I don't believe, you know, please, Kadish, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't believe you're that hands on. Like, I don't think Alec Baldwin was the one making the decisions to hire these kids.
Okay,
you know?
so look, I'm going to jump in and just say this, and I don't know how many of you are in my boat or not. I handle firearms on a weekly basis. I'm recently got into competitive shooting. I own an AR-15. I own multiple pistols, and my reaction to this is this simple: you have to control an environment. Needs to be controlled. An environment needs to be controlled. I don't know what that is that you just pulled out. Is that a prop gun?
Yeah, so my boomstick.
Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah. Anyway, it doesn't count.
It's Evil Dead, you know.
Yeah, Evil Dead doesn't count. But there's an environment and there's the individual. There's a complete. You control your environment. If you go to, I was just in Texas. I'm in Texas. I was just on Sunday. Went to the range here in Texas. They have, you know, there's an environment. It's an open environment, and the range is either hot or it's cold. So there's control of the environment and there's control of the firearm. And whatever Joker just put up, that little super chat, or that chat, it wasn't super chat, it was a regular chat, what Joker just said is exactly it. Anybody that touches any gun at all, no matter what, has to be trained in what they're these.
Okay, well, I agree with that.
Let me finish. I let you finish.
Okay.
Let me finish. So anyone at all that has any respect for a firearm in any way, shape, or form, whether it's called a prop gun or any other gun, there's 4 simple rules. Joker put it up earlier in the chat stream. Those are the rules. And so there's a lack of training, and there's a lack of respect, and then there's a lack of training amongst all the individuals, a lack of respect for the actual weapon, prop gun, whatever the weirdo word you want to use, or accurate legal word someone wants to use. And then there's a lack of control of the environment. All of that, and anyone that's there, especially who's a producer, shares some part of the blame for a lack of control of the environment and lack of personal responsibility, and for allowing a lack of training to happen for this even to occur. Anyone who handles firearms on a regular basis knows that there is no way that this coulda, woulda, shoulda ever happened, including finding live rounds lying around anywhere, because live munitions are never supposed to be around an actual pistol, except unless it's time for it's loaded. Period. It's like driving a car. This is literally, to me, hearing about this as someone who's a competitive shooter, it's like me hearing that you got a 16-year-old drunk, handed them the keys to your 4x4 truck, and told them to go have fun down by the lake of the barbecue and run over some kids. I mean, it's like that kind of irresponsibility. There's no way that this should have ever happened.
So I agree with everything you're saying. If in any other situation, but we're talking about people who make believe for a living. These are people who are just like make pretend for a living. So if we can separate, there's two arguments here. So let me table the producer argument for a second, because I still want to get with Kadish's word on that. But like from the actor's point of view, I don't know Alec Baldwin from Adam. I don't know, you know, and I don't really care. You know, I like some of his movies. I don't like some of his movies. You know, he was funny in 30 Rock. You know, did Trump way too long, in my opinion, but whatever. You know, a lot of people don't like him. That I know. And a lot of those people are quick to crucify him. What I'm saying is like, he's an actor. He's being paid to make pretend. Maybe he doesn't know shit about guns. I don't know. I do. You know what I mean? And everything you said, I 100% agree with. If you're like going to the gun range, if you're going out shooting with your buddies, or you know, competitive shoot, or any, you know, any kind of handling of a gun. But from his point of view, he thought he was being handed something like this.
Well, then would you agree with this, that since they're morons and who like to play pretend, it's like kids with a gun. Since they're playing pretend, then there should be no real firearms allowed.
Exactly. There shouldn't. No, 100% agree with that. So who's in charge of that is the prop master and the what did you call it, Vader? You said the person that's probably going to go to jail is who?
The armorer.
The armorer. Yeah, the armorer. That person, I think it's like some young girl.
It's some girl, yeah.
Yeah. And, you know, there should have never, ever been any real bullets anywhere near that damn set. And I don't, you know, so
we're agreed.
So we're agreed, so I think
there wasn't going to be control of the environment, and there wasn't going to be training of every individual, which you're right, brother, because these people, if they're not going to get the same kind of training that real shooters get, then they're just playing pretend. It's like you said, when you reach around and grab your gun, then that's all that needs to be around is true prop guns, which aren't able to fire anything.
Right.
And
in this day and age with CG,
there's no live ammo.
Yeah, with
Yep.
CG nowadays, they can add the little flash and the smoke and all that shit. I don't understand why they even still do this. So,
Well, the reason why they do that is because of the recoil. Because when you use an airsoft gun or a prop gun, you don't get the same reaction that you see
hey,
like
man, it's
the
called
John Wick.
acting.
Look, I don't. No. I don't. They've been making movies for 100 years now with guns and stuff and blanks on set, and this is it's an unfortunate accident, but it happened and somebody died. So now they're going to have to do an investigation, and somebody's going to have to pay the price. You know, can you imagine making a movie like Wick or something like that with CGI guns? That wouldn't work. I mean, come on,
Didn't they
man.
do that
It's just
with Wick?
I don't know. Maybe they did.
I thought a
You
lot of
just-
it looked real CG.
a Western movie, you know, like Tombstone with fake guns. Come on.
I don't know,
That
man.
isn't gonna work.
CG's come a long way, but I do want to pivot to the producer thing because I see a couple people in chat getting real heated about that part. So I think we all kind of agree. Like, if we separate, let's just, like, you know, if we pretended he wasn't a producer, like he was an actor, he was given something, he was given trust in that. He thought he was believing, you know, playing pretend with a fake gun, and it ended up going off and somebody got accidentally killed. In normal circumstance, we wouldn't hold that person responsible. We'd hold the person responsible who's responsible for the gun that was given to him. Are we in agreement kind of on that before we go to the producer part?
Here's what I think. I think the producer's job is not to go through every piece of speck and dust of stuff that's on the set of a movie and check out what's right and wrong. That's what he hires people like the armorer and the prop master and the set makers and all this stuff, dude. That's their job.
Okay, so I feel
the armorer's only job is to make sure
something like this
that stuff doesn't happen.
Okay, so I feel like
there shouldn't have been any live ammo, no live bullets, nothing anywhere near that set. Now, where they're going to get sticky is where they were supposedly out target shooting with these same exact guns. Now who's that goes to? I have no idea.
Whoever's involved in that, like, they should all get some kind of punishment. But so, Cadis, to you, because I think you know a little bit more. Can you speak a little bit more toward his responsibility as a producer? Was what I was saying earlier, you know, was I incorrect factually, or was I, mostly correct, somewhat correct? You know, about, a producer's mostly like a contributor of money, and when an actor is a producer as well, it's usually so they can get some type of deal on the back end of the movie. They're not as involved as like other producers. Probably like 10 or 12 producers on this movie. I'd love to get your thoughts on that aspect.
Yeah, there are different types of producers. The way that it works with someone like Alec Baldwin is if you're a big enough actor and you agree to come on a production, that actor's involvement can ensure that the movie gets made because people are willing to put in money and stuff like that. So a lot of actors actually get an honorary producer title if they're big enough where they can get a movie going just by being involved with it. And I think that was probably Alec Baldwin's thing, where he's not an actual like logistical producer. He's not the guy who put this movie together. The fact that he came on board, they were probably able to get the movie made because of his involvement. So he got a producer credit.
So for the layman, he was a producer in name only. Right.
Like I said, the producer title means different things, depending on basically anyone who helps the movie get made is technically a producer.
Exactly.
Whether they bring money to the table, whether they pitched it to the studio executive, whether they're the producer's girlfriend who he wants to give them a credit for.
Right. So with that being the case, I still don't see how any of this can come back as far as legal action against Alec Baldwin.
Well,
like I said, I feel like
there's a good case. There's a good case for manslaughter because he did kill someone. Like even if there's an accident and you kill someone, you can be charged with manslaughter for your involvement in it. With Alec Baldwin, I think the issue really comes down to the hypocrisy, where he's a very liberal guy. He's come out against police officers who committed shootings. He's been very anti-Trump. He's been anti-gun, and yet in his work life, he uses guns all the time for like these movies and stuff like that. So I think the big backlash here is more about how Alec Baldwin is a hypocrite more than anything else. But I'll say that in terms of like who's responsible. So the director is the person who runs the set.
Who also got shot, by the way.
Well, he got injured, but
right. I mean, the bullet went through her and into his shoulder. So
yeah, but the point I'm trying to make here is that when you're on set, it's the director's gig. He's the one who runs the set, and he's the one in charge of the departments. Unless you have a very hands-on producer who kind of comes in and starts throwing his weight around. But on the day-to-day set operations, it's the director's gig. He's the one in charge. So he should have been the one overseeing the props department, the armory, or like whatever. And there were a lot of complaints that this set was very unsafe. Like people weren't following safety guidelines. Mm-hmm. And to me, that's the director's fault. Because like he should have been the one that's like, hey, you need to get your shit together. He should have started firing department heads if they weren't following safety protocols or like what have you. So in fact, I think the crews actually started walking off set because of they were protesting safety conditions. So to say like it's all Alec Baldwin's fault, I mean, like this is a guy, he's spent decades using guns in movies, and when you're a actor, you got to focus on your performance. So you just assume that props, costume, like all these people know what they're doing, and you just focus on delivering your performance. So when someone hands him a gun and says, okay, you're good to go, he's not going to check that thing. He's not going to go through it. Like he just trusts that the department people know what they're doing. So I think that it's a little bit premature to blame him for the murder, but that being said, I do think he's going to suffer some consequences for it. It's most likely going to be Vader's take, where he's going to get a slap on the wrist. He might get a man-charge plea, but not actually serve any like actual time or like whatever. So,
does anybody know what happened to the gentleman that accidentally killed Brandon Lee? Because I don't think he came up on any charges at all. I mean, I don't know if...
that was a malfunction from the bullet casing,
right? But it's
completely different.
It's no, because if you still kill it, by the definition, he gave a manslaughter. He still killed Brandon Lee.
Well, the actor who pulled the trigger killed Brandon Lee,
right? But he never got charged with manslaughter. I don't believe.
I don't think he got charged with anything, but he suffered some severe like PTSD. I think he ended up committing suicide.
Yeah, I mean, like that's the kind of shit.
How is the person that put the bullet in the blank bullet into the gun supposed to know it's faulty? It's a faulty blank. I mean, because that's what that was all about. It wasn't a loaded gun. It had a blank in it.
This is a situation where this situation versus that situation brings up what Kate said. You've got possible manslaughter. You have possible, by the way, criminal negligence, which is a different type of charge.
That one I think is the big one.
That's the one.
And the third one you got, which is civil, is that you have wrongful death, which is only a preponderance of the evidence. It's not, but beyond a reasonable doubt. That's only 50.01%. And that's a civil, and that's.
You think this movie gets finished, sees the light of day?
Oh God, no.
Yeah, and I think wrongful death is a slam dunk. They'll sue the studio. They're not going to sue anybody specific, and that'll be the reason the movie doesn't get made, in my opinion. But they do have insurance for stuff like that, right, Kadish? Like that's a thing. And then, I don't know. I don't see him. We'll see. Time will tell. I don't see Baldwin getting charged with manslaughter. I do see criminal negligence against the armorer for sure, 100% for sure. But we could be wrong. I feel shitty. I feel bad for Alec Baldwin just because he's got to live with this. I mean, he was a friend with her. I mean,
I don't know if I feel bad for him because he's kind of a jerk, but I feel bad for the family of the woman who died.
Oh, totally. Well, yeah, of course. Of course.
I have a hard time feeling bad. I have a hard time feeling bad for anyone but the family that is the two families that are directly involved in this, because I just see so much negligence, the lack of control of the environment, and the lack of respect for the firearm, and the lack of training of anybody that was going to touch one. Because in my world, when you use the term prop gun means a gun that can't even fire. Like it's got the guts are ripped out, nothing's going to shoot it, not even a damn blank. There's no hammer. That's in the gun community. A prop gun is something that's a toy. It's a thing behind you, that you pulled off your shelf.
Right,
there's
right.
No
in Hollywood,
there's a gun.
They call anything they use a prop. Really, I mean, like whether it's functional or not, they call it a prop.
Well, and that's why accidents happen, because there's a lack of respect, a lack of control for the environment, lack of training, and lack of respect for the firearm.
And he obviously, I don't think Alec Baldwin knows how to handle a real gun, because like he wasn't even. What I read was he it wasn't even a scene where he was supposed to shoot the gun. He pulled the gun out and accidentally discharged it because he pulled it out wrong. You're supposed to pull it out a certain way, not have your finger on the trigger already.
He's done
Dude,
movies
he was in
where
the Shadow. He
handled
was having
guns
pistols
before.
like look at the Shadow movie.
Oh yeah, no, the Scorsese movie, the one where he gets his hand cut off, from way back in the day, Miami Blues or something like that. I can't remember what it was, but no, he's been in a shit ton of movies with guns. I mean, but again, he's make believing, he's pretending,
I mean, he's had firearms training.
He has.
Yeah,
Then-
he's done enough of these movies, like The Getaway. Like that was a complete shoot 'em up.
So again,
Yeah,
lack
yeah.
of control of the environment, lack of respect for the firearm, and lack of responsibility for the training that's needed with the people already involved.
And there it is. Lack of respect for the firearm. That's the bottom line.
We got to end on a happier note. Like when we're done with this, let's not let this be
we
the
talked
last
about
subject.
Tiger King. Doesn't
Tiger
that make
King.
that makes Matt happy.
Tiger King.
I said end on a happier note.
Tiger King.
Is there
Hashtag Tiger
anything,
King.
All right, listen
are
up.
we done with Alec, or is there anything else?
We're done with Alec. In fact,
All right.
we're done. We're done. We're going.
Aw,
We've gone a good hour and a half now.
okay.
So we're gonna wrap this thing up. Chat, thank you guys all as always for hanging out with us and having your heated discussion today. Oh God, thank God you took that thing off.
Oh yeah,
and
Mike could see my real face.
So let's get out of here. Mike, tell us about what you do and where we can come and talk to you.
Oh, just follow me on Twitter, and that tells where I go. I don't promote my channel. Instead, I love supporting other great channels like this. I love. I'm on Midnight Edge After Dark Tuesdays and Thursdays. I produce Midnight Edge Espanol, and then I rotate in and out with Tom and Andre on Midnight Edge. So, and then
Nice.
Sunday nights I do Doomcock show every Sunday night, including tomorrow night.
We'll have to get Paulie and Mr. Doomcock on here one morning with us someday.
Oh,
That'd be
I'd
fun.
love to come on here.
That'd be fun.
Kidding?
That'd be
Paulie will
fun.
come and do this for sure.
So funny thing to answer that question. I wanted to have a Mr. Sacco, but apparently there's not one single white sock in my entire house because nobody here wears white socks. We wear fancy colored pattern socks. So sorry.
Danny, tell everybody where they can get a hold of you.
Where is it? Oh, it disappeared. At Dork Night LV on Twitter. Twitter's pretty much all I do.
All right, Matthew.
You can find me at Matthew Kadish, Kadish on Twitter, and check out saltynerdclub.com if you like our content, want to support us, and get exclusive content where we've been talking about Foundation episode by episode in the members area. So you can go there, sign up, support the podcast. Our goal is to get Mr. Matt Vader to quit his job and do the podcast full time. So that's what we're working towards. And we need lots of people signing up in order to make that happen. So please consider.
Yeah, be a patron today.
I signed up today. I'm now a superstar.
I did. I saw
Nice.
that. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
I am now. We now have diversity inclusion at the superstar level.
That's
awesome.
amazing. All right, and since Matt already did the plug for the show, you can find me at Matt Vader 74 on all the social media things, and also on Salty_nerd on Twitter. I'm running that Twitter account now too. So again, guys, thanks everybody for stopping in and hanging out today. We will see you 5 or 6 times this week and back here on the Holmgang next Saturday morning. So until then, stay salty, everybody, and we will see you later.